So what we're trying to do at 4.4 is we're trying to show people what they don't know. So we're trying to come at it from this sort of approach of gathering all these things called which we call insights, which everyone's got a different name for how they do that. But insights are fundamentally little tiny snippets of text, ideally a single sentence. And the idea of grouping the sentences together into clusters is a kind of class of artificial intelligence called natural language processing, which is pretty old. I mean, it's really ancient in sort of the world of it's a world of AI. Massively predates like large language models. People have been trying to do this since the early 90s, maybe even elements of that earlier, where they were trying to take sentences or very short paragraphs and group them together semantically or thematically. And that's what you're trying to do. But what you want the machine to do is, given hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of these, to group them together according to their semantic similarity thematically, without you having to tell it in advance how those themes should be clustered together.
Mm.
The way this technique works is you have to generate a mathematical representation, a numeric representation of an English language sentence, where it works in other languages, of course, as well, which is eventually a long list of numbers, very long, about 1,000 or even higher number of numbers, which represents the number of dimensions in the embedding. And then what you're trying to do is find other numerical strings that are of the same sort of angular angle to each other, and then you try and pick one, and then see, well, how many are near that one, and then you pick another one and see, well, I'm going to now see how many people are that one, and you just process over and over and over again until you find some convergence. And you've got a bunch of outliers, ones that didn't really fit any cluster. And so now you've got a big grouping of these sentences or mini groups, and you can make the clusters different size. Like how near does something have to be to the sort of centroid before it ends up being another cluster or an outlier? And then you say, okay, well, now we've got lists of sentences, but what's the topic actually about? Because I've just got a list of sentences.